It's a blessing to be with you on this Monday here of the Word of Encouragement. Today I'd like to go to the book of Hebrews, chapter 6. And it's an area I've been at a couple of times, but I'd like to look at verse 10 of chapter 6. And this is an encouragement to realize that God is very aware of our ministry and what we endeavor by His power to do for Him. Verse 10, "For God is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed toward His name, in that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister." Now, we could talk a lot about ministering to other people and how we need to be willing to sacrifice and meet the needs of others and to be involved in a labor of love. That is very, very important. But the emphasis I want to make here is that God is not unrighteous to forget. In other words, He's saying that He, because of His righteousness, because of His perfection, He knows everything. And He will do right when it comes to acknowledging what we do for Him. In other words, no one is forgotten. When we allow God to cause us to work for Him and to have a sacrificial spirit, to labor to meet the needs of others, God notices. In fact, the Lord Jesus Himself said, when we give a drink, when we give food to someone that's in need, we are giving it to Him, to the Lord. That kind of an idea. And so the Lord is very much aware of our lack of selfishness and genuine spirit-empowered sacrificial selflessness. A lot of times people wonder, I've worked so hard here, I've given of myself. Ladies in the nursery, for instance, that really pour their hearts into ministering to those children, or bringing in folks that the church needs to bring in to be hospitable, and maybe just taking meals to somebody when there is a medical need. And nothing's ever said publicly, nothing is ever done. Well, regardless of all of that, God's not unrighteous. He will not forget your labor of love. And I just want to encourage you today that anything you're doing, if you're sincerely trying to serve the Lord, you're not forgotten. In fact, no matter what you're doing, you're not forgotten. He's very aware of each one of us. And He is very much moved by any heart that we show for Him and for others. So be encouraged today. You've not been forgotten. God knows what you're doing. He cares about you. He knows your heart. He understands you if no one else does. And so don't let Satan get in our ear. And let's instead be encouraged and know that our God does care.